And you guys are all saying it's a submarine, but I think it's just rocks, so who cares? What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we are going to be doing a Godzilla King of the Monsters, not necessarily a news update, but discussion video. Today we will be discussing the recently released, as in just from yesterday, Godzilla King of the Monsters pictures, which include a picture of Godzilla firing his atomic breath and a picture of Vera Farmiga and Millie Bobby Brown's characters, Emma Russell and Madison Russell. So I'll be doing some videos throughout this week talking about some of the other things going on with this whole recent reveal we got from Entertainment Weekly. Specifically, I will be breaking down some of the events talked about inside of Michael Dougherty's discussion of the movie. But for this video, we are just going to be taking a look at the pictures themselves. We will start out with the picture of Emma and Madison Russell. Now, a lot of you guys didn't really like my theory that this picture takes place after the two had been kidnapped. Of course, we know from Michael Dougherty's interview that they will be kidnapped by some mysterious organization. But a lot of you guys pointed out to me how this is a very cold picture, not necessarily in terms of there's something dark happening inside of it, but it's just literally a cold picture. It looked freezing there. And a lot of you guys are pointing that out to me, saying that maybe they're looking at Ghidorah's frozen body in Antarctica. That's a very good possibility. I didn't even consider that, so I appreciate everyone who's been pointing that out to me. The evidence that we have to support that is the fact that it is a really cold setting, and also we know that Monarch has built a station around Ghidorah's frozen body in Antarctica based off the Monarch timeline. We know that Ghidorah was discovered there in 2016, so there has been enough time for them to set up a base of operations, and that would explain the startled look on both characters' faces. They're not necessarily like freaked out or anything, but they look like they're looking at something amazing. My only question in that case is, why the heck is Madison Russell there? Is it Take Your Child to Work Day or something? Like, that feels like she's really out of place. She shouldn't be here. So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, let's move on to the Godzilla image. There's a little bit more to talk about here, because the other one, that's pretty much it. Now with the Godzilla image, we can talk, we'll break it down into sections. Sections will be Godzilla's redesign, Godzilla's atomic breath, the submarine, and what's in the sky. Godzilla's redesign. Now, a lot of people have been noticing that there are longer and differently shaped dorsal fins on Godzilla's back. It looks like they listened to some of the criticism from the design from 2014 and beefed up those dorsal fins because a lot of people complained that they were too short. We also can maybe assume, based off that criticism, that the eyes will be a little larger, fingers crossed, but at the very least, the dorsal fins have been improved. And a lot of people have been pointing out one dorsal fin in particular that looks like it has a very curvy shape. It's very oddly shaped. It definitely wasn't like that in Godzilla 2014. I think an in-universe explanation for this might be that one of the Mutos just simply chipped off part of his dorsal fin. If you read the novelization, they talk about that quite a bit. How during the fight in San Francisco, Godzilla got his dorsal fins knocked off by the Mutos. Not necessarily like knocked off, but the Mutos would chip into them and cause shards of them to go everywhere. I think it is possible that what happened was one of Godzilla's dorsal fins got chipped apart by one of the Mutos. It also looks like Godzilla has a bit of a thicker tail. It doesn't look any longer to me, but it looks thicker than it was in the 2014 movie. We also see a lot more fluorescent blue throughout his dorsal fins. Looks like specifically in the tail, he will be having more blue in the tail when he charges up his atomic breath. And a lot of people have been pointing this out, so you don't even have to get mad at me this time. Just get mad at everybody, because it's pretty obvious. A lot of people have noticed it. I've noticed it too. I even mentioned it in my last video. Godzilla's fat in this picture. He's fatter than he was in the 2014 movie. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, I'm just saying it is simply a thing. Godzilla looks a little chubbier in this picture than he was in the 2014 movie, and I know it's all muscle. Everyone has to point that out. It's not fat, it's just muscle. Even if it is muscle, he looks fat. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what it is, because the design as a whole just looks too bulky, and I really wanted them to thin him down for this movie, and it doesn't look like they did that. It's totally okay though, because we have seen fat Godzillas that are awesome. And by that I mean the 2014 Godzilla. He was fat and he's awesome. And also Godzilla Earth. He's pretty fat and he's very awesome. So I think this is, it's not necessarily like a deal breaker or anything. I just think it would have been cooler if they slimmed him down. And also, maybe it's just the angle, the way we're looking at him. Maybe he just looks a little fat, but I don't know. Alright, next up we have Godzilla's atomic breath. There's not too much to talk about with Godzilla's atomic breath, however, we can still break some stuff down with it. So one question a lot of people have had after hearing Michael Dougherty say that this is at a key point in the plot and it's a call to arms, Godzilla firing the atomic breath into the sky like that, a lot of people are wondering, is it a beacon for help? Is he signaling Rodan and Mothra to help him fight Ghidorah? Or is this just him saying, let's go attack right now? Also, another thing that people have been pointing out is that this atomic breath is spiraled. I have noticed that as well. You can see some clearly defined spirals going around the atomic breath that was not present in the 2014 movie, so that's very cool. New addition to the atomic breath. Like I said, his atomic breath looks much more powerful in this movie than it was in the 2014 movie. As I pointed out last video, this time it takes up the full mouth span, whereas last time it just took up a part of the mouth span. Another thing people have been pointing out is how this is a potential reference to Godzilla Final Wars. I tend to think that it is just because the spiral around the atomic breath was present when Godzilla fired his atomic breath at Monster X when Monster X was headed down to Earth in the form of a meteorite. Godzilla used the spiral atomic breath that was blue to try and stop the impact. So, I think that is a potential reference to Final Wars, and I think that's a very likely scenario. A lot of people are also questioning what he's shooting at. Is he shooting Ghidorah out of the sky? Who knows? I think personally he's just firing his atomic breath straight up into the sky as a signal to start the attack against Ghidorah. They said it was a call to arms, not necessarily this is Godzilla shooting Ghidorah out of the sky. So, no, I don't think this is an attack right here. A lot of people are pointing out what looks like a submarine in the bottom left hand of the screen. Now, to me, it personally just looks like rocks. I know a lot of you guys think, oh, it is a submarine 100% because it's got a similar shape. But yeah, it's got a similar shape. That doesn't mean anything. It looks like rocks to me, that's all. I don't know. And you guys are all saying it's a submarine, but I think it's just rocks, so who cares? Could it even be a submarine? Would a submarine even be able to submerge at this depth? I'm not sure. I mean, probably. Godzilla looks like he's waist deep in the water, meaning he's probably around 100 to 150 feet deep in the water. It has potential to be a submarine, but that raises the question, why would a submarine be there in the first place? It just doesn't make sense. If you're in a submarine, you're not going to put yourself in harm's way by going towards the giant monsters. You're going to want to get away from them. What's the purpose of the submarine being there? Does it actually mean even anything if it is a submarine? Like, who cares? Like, what if it's just there passing by? It doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could be a submarine. It very possibly could be. Maybe it's trying to get close to Godzilla because they have some sort of control device on the sub. That ties into the Monster DJ news that we'll be covering next video. Who knows? At this point, I'm just going to say, even if it is a submarine, it's probably not going to be horribly impactful to the plot, and if it is a submarine, probably everyone on it will be killed, because they are just right in harm's way. So, what's that in the sky? Who's that in the sky? Is it Rodan? No, it's not. It's just clouds. It looks like clouds to me. Lots of people have been sending me things that say Rodan spotted in this picture. If you're one of those people, don't think I'm like calling you out or making fun of you. I'm just saying it's just clouds. It's nothing special. If you want to make donations to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, all you have to do to support cancer research and also support the kaiju community is go use the links in the description below to buy yourself a Kaiju vs. Cancer t-shirt. The Kaiju vs. Cancer t-shirt was drawn by Tom Crone, featuring 3 different kaiju from independent kaiju creators. Also, there will be Kaiju vs. Cancer posters sold at G-Fest. These posters will be found at Denny and Roth's booth. One of them is 2 kaiju fighting. I just put the names on screen because I don't know how to say those names. The other one is Kaiju vs. Cancer Ice Cream Man. You guys can get that one too. And the other one is the Kaiju Matador, which I think personally is my favorite of the bunch. All proceeds go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Go check it out. It's for a good cause. Also, big thank you to you guys for the 30,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. It's just crazy how far this channel has come. I have no plans on stopping anytime soon, so let's see how far we can get. Thank you all. I very much appreciate it. And that does it for this one, guys. Just a little discussion video for you guys right now. I will be having the Monster DJ news video coming out very soon. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. D-Man out.